What's cracking, everybody? Good morning. New video. It's early in the morning. I didn't do a video yesterday. This is actually the second time I tried recording this one. I forgot to turn my alarm off. It went off. It turned off the video while I was in the middle of something spectacular. Now let me see if I can reenact that. Just kidding. Before I go on, if you like this hat, it's made by Loops Design, Loops Design. They sent me 3 different color hats. You guys will be seeing the hats. They also sent me some shirts. You guys will be seeing the shirts. And they've contacted me and said they would like to do a t-shirt giveaway. It'll probably be for the members only. So we'll see. I don't know yet. I'll discuss it with them, and then I'll let you know what I decide. Also, those of you that aren't already subscribed to my second channel, please subscribe to my second channel. I will try to put a link to that channel in the description of this video. Now, the video that I'm making today is something that's very close to the edge of what I'm comfortable with, but I feel it's important. So, there are people that talk about the camaraderie of prison. And there is some, there is camaraderie. You are expected, you do develop this sense of, you're going to die for the vato next to you, your celly or whatever, homie, and he's going to die for you, whether it be, from a rival or from the tower, the gunner. The gun tower. Doesn't matter, but you understand that. It's accepted, it's a given. But above camaraderie in prison is self-preservation. That's number one. At the end of the day, everybody's trying to make it through the day, and the next. Now, over the last, 5, 6, 7 years, somewhere around there, the CDC completely changed. They let the legends of all the factions out of Pelican Bay SHU, right? And the few that were in Corcoran SHU, let them out, let them hit the main line. Well, for decades, that was not the case. And, now the legends are out there and they're able to see people and how they conduct themselves on a day-to-day basis. They're able to see how the program's running. They're able to dictate the program because the program is their program to make, right? They're able to see how the administration and how the cops are getting down, right? However, but for those decades that they sat up in Pelican Bay and they sat in Corcoran and they sat in the SHUs, that wasn't the case at all. So the way that they found out about how, the program was running and how the cops were doing things and how, the Ramfla was running and how the vatos that were in charge of that Ramfla on their behalf, how they were doing was through letters, but more importantly and more dangerously, through vatos that were on the yard and went up to the SHU with them, because they would ask them, what's going on with her, who's doing this, and they would ask them. And that's what this video is about, those guys. It's hard to get into the story without getting into certain details that I don't want to get into, so I'm going to just tell the story, and then hopefully I don't feel uncomfortable with it and wind up scratching this whole video. But I'm gonna tell you this. I've made videos in the past and said, as far as the Raza from down south, there's an understanding that nobody's gonna be dead weight. Everybody does something. Some do more because they're trying to be more. And that's all I'll say about that. But as far as who does hits and why they do hits, some people raise their hand. Some people, when they're asked if they're willing to help out, they'll, yeah, homie, I want to do this and that, and they make it clear. And those two, the ones that raise their hand, or the ones that say, yeah, whenever it's needed, if it's necessary, I'm right here. Those 2 individuals are not the worrisome type. I'm going to tell you the worrisome type, and who a lot of times is asked to do pegadas, who is asked to do hits behind the walls. Idiots. See, you could have a dude who, You know, he likes to party in his cell. Cool, you're supposed to party in your cell. Once you're under the influence, at least when I was in prison, once you were under the influence, you couldn't come out of your cell. Like it didn't matter if you had a phone call at 7:15 at night and you had a bag of wine or whatever the hell you had in your cell. You do not start drinking until 7:30 because that's when your phone call would end. If you start drinking at 7, you forfeited your phone call. If you decide to come out and people see that you're loaded, you get into an argument with the juras, you just brought heat to yourself. You brought the spotlight to yourself, and you brought heat on everybody else in that pod. That's a problem. So there's that, or you had some bottles that, you know, they would be let out for showers, and instead of going to the shower, you know, conducting themselves responsibly and going to the shower, taking the shower, getting back in so the next man can come out and get his shower before chow or whatever it is, you have autos that will come out and run the tier. Not only do they have the juras on their ass, but now they've offended their neighbor, whether it's a homie in their car or a rival. Not a good look, right? Again, heat. So a lot of times dudes that were bringing heat to themselves and bringing attention to themselves, whoever was in charge back then, it wasn't the legends. It was somebody the legends put in place, right? They would have a decision. How do I want to deal with this dude? And it usually went by, what knowledge does this dude have? Does he know better? And if he does, still, you know, there was various factors. What has he done? Has he contributed? Has he not? And the decision would be, okay, we're either going to whack him or we're going to send him on a hot list, send him on a mission, send him to whack somebody. If this was happening on a yard where you had leadership there that was more lenient, more understanding, more of the type wanting to help a homie rather than hurt a homie, they would pull him to the side. You know, hey homie, at yard A, and I holler at you, and they would know. They would know what the heat, if the heat was on or not. They would be asked, hey Homza, you know, we got something we need to take care of. We need you to do that for us. You got us or not? And it was generally understood, unless the person was a complete idiot, if he said no, he's gonna get whacked that day. Most of the time, 99.9 of the time, they knew what time it was. They knew why they were being asked. And they would say, yeah, homie, I got that. No problem. They'd be given the thing, you know, whatever they, you know, and they would go and do their hot lab. Some of these guys were appreciative of the opportunity. Fuck it, at least they didn't whack me. I knew I had it coming. Unfortunately, a lot of them became what the outside world would term disgruntled employees. So they went and did the pegada that they had to do for bringing heat on everybody else and maybe disrespecting other people and putting everybody in jeopardy because of their stupidity, instead of respecting the fact that they were given a pass. You know, just given the opportunity to put in work, go to the shoe, and sit down for a couple years and think about what you did and learn from the people around you, because that's the best schooling you were going to get, you know. Instead of being like, okay, you know, fuck it, you know, they show me love. Nah, they get to the shoe and guess what they do? As soon as they land up there, one of the legends is going to ask them, hey, so what's happening right there where you were at? What was going on? And they become a straight up bitch. You know, to everybody that they didn't like that was in a leadership position, instead of being a man at the time and talking to them face to face about what they didn't like, they go to the legend. Oh man, it's fucked up over there, man. You know, I hate to talk shit, but yet he's gonna talk shit. And they'll say whatever he says, and 9 times out of 10, it's a bunch of bullshit. There might be this much truth. But see, that's the best way to tell a lie. You mix a little bit of truth into it. And you know what happens? There were times when dudes did that and bodies would drop because of it. But none of it was true. And guys that were doing the right things, that were sacrificing, that were doing everything that was expected, they would get crossed up by a clown who couldn't hold his liquor or just had zero respect for everything going on. It would catch up to him eventually. But the bad thing is, good dudes got wrecked. And I never talk about the subject, but this is why when I hear people talk about dropouts, especially outside of the Raza car, it blows my mind, because it's like, if you've ever been in prison, then you know the exact situation I just brought up. Good dudes that never did nothing wrong, solid as a motherfucker, in leadership positions, but somebody crossed them up. Somebody pencil whipped them. Somebody just lied on them. And because of the separation, 1,000-mile separation, the fact that they couldn't get face to face, it destroyed that person and his career. But to each their own. It's easy to talk about another man. Me, I ain't never been hit. People ask sometimes, hey, were you ever stabbed in prison? I was never stabbed in prison. But I just wanted to tell this story so people see, like, at the end of the day, I'm always trying to tell you guys that lifestyle, living in the streets, banging and, criming it and, hurting people in the community, that leads to prison. It's not worth it, because once you get to prison, it's a completely different set of rules. And if you don't know the game and you don't got the right friends, you could be on the losing end, no matter how good you are. Just telling you. So I gotta go. I'm gonna be late for work. Everybody, use your head, man. Get out of them streets. If you don't, mind your business when you get busted. Keep your nose in your own business and nobody else's. Keep your mouth shut. But I'm hoping you don't even got to deal with that shit. Get your ass a job. Take care of your family. Because I've said it 1,000 times, man. All of those men behind those walls wish they had the chance you had to make a better decision that would lead you away from prison. With that, stay safe, stay smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.